Okay, does this work? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, does this work? Whoa. If there is any lagging or anything, please let me know. Okay guys, I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment to my settings because my wife just told me that it is laggy. So let's do 25. So hey guys, there's already 6 of you here. This is my test run for my Everesting stream. I need to figure out all the quirks and whatever doesn't work. If it's lagging or if the sound quality is bad or stuff like that. So if there are any problems, please let me know in the chat. I will restart the stream, so Thank you, MTB Madness. Ciekawe se. OK, já jsem to dal tak na 15, to by to mělo být ještě lepší možná. So I apologize for the lagging. I need to figure out the settings first. MTV Madness, it's going to be Mount Everest next Saturday. So if you are interested in that, make sure you tune in. It's Mount Etna right now as my final workout before the Everesting attempt. So I'm going to do a little more adjustment. I've been watching some YouTube tutorials, streaming tutorials while I'm riding, and I probably have the bitrate way too high still. So I'm going to reduce it even lower. Where is it? I'll do 10,000. So right now it should be even better. But as I'm watching, yeah, it says great connection right now. So perfect. Huh. But right now I would need to reduce the lag somehow, because I'm already on the snow part of the climb, and I can see the stream being quite a bit delayed. Maybe if I refresh it. Yes, it looks better. Resume. That's still quite a bit behind, actually. So on the descent, I'm going to adjust the text because it overlaps with the Swift interface. So right now there's just about half a minute of delay and it keeps reducing, so hopefully it will get better. Perfect. Thank you, MTB Madness. There shouldn't be a huge delay right now, too. There's like 15 seconds right now. So it shouldn't be any problem. Just if you still have a delay, refresh the page and it should be okay. Right now, my in-game time, elapsed time, is 27:29. So if you are like 2 minutes behind, just refresh and it should be getting better and better. I already changed the settings for the delay, so the first lap is already almost done. And I have to do 11 to climb the Mount Etna. So this great estimation is obviously nonsense because I've been riding very relaxed pace. This estimation is only applicable if you are maxing on the climb. Right. So descent, I will fix my text during the descent. First of all, I will put it lower. And also I will do this. So can I align it to the middle center? Yeah, can. Perfect. Now I will do something like this. That should be good. So first lap done, and now after the descent, I will start doing my true pace for the Everesting attempt, which is upper Z2. I just destroyed my descent because I pedaled, so I wrecked my super tack. But you can descend when you just get off the bike. So, lap number 2. And the stream looks better now, so I will actually put some effort into this climb. Thank you, Joshua. Appreciate it a lot. I tried to do the channel in a way that I would want to watch it. So I'm just trying to have fun and occasionally provide some value, but I just want you guys to come hang out and also have some entertaining value. Hello, Saint. Yes, Saints, definitely. Definitely. Zwift Play is a huge boost to quality of life when you are riding. First of all, it enables you to steer, and steering can actually make you better in races. So when you are using the steering to position yourself in the draft and to cut corners a little bit, it can save you for a few 100 meters for the duration of the race. And when you are racing to the top of your potential, every safety meter is a benefit. Besides that, the shifting with Zwift Play is way more natural than with Zwift Click, because you are basically shifting similarly as on an actual bike. So you have one shifter on the left, one shifter on the right, and it's like electronic shifting. That obviously applies if you are using virtual shifting, but I assume you do, since you said you have a Zwift Click. And it also enables you to use power-ups more efficiently, give ride-ons, and overall, I would say grab it while it is still discounted. Like it is discounted now because it is still in beta. It's going to be about 50 euros, I believe, more expensive when it is finally launched. It had its problems when I bought it. It was frequently disconnecting, and the work with it wasn't that pleasant. But all of these problems have been fixed so far, at least for me. So the connection right now is absolutely stable. I never have any dropouts anymore. And take a look. You can do stuff like this if you have a Zwift Play, which is very useful, right? Yeah, I definitely recommend Zwift Play if you, especially if you are using virtual shifting. Then it's no-brainer for me. Joshua, I have been cycling. I bought my bike during COVID, but I started cycling in a more serious manner last August. So I was a marathon runner before I started cycling, so I didn't go into cycling completely like without any fitness, but I started in D category, and I was getting my ass handed to me by guys that were like 20 to 30 years older than me. But I started training in a pretty similar fashion as I was during my running. And so I did some structural training plans, Zwift training plans. I did some third-party training plans. And so in about 10 months now, I made a move from D-Cat to B-Cat. And next week I will hopefully beat another challenge. Yeah, no problem, Saint. I think I should ask for some commissions with. I'm not sponsored. I just really like the product, and I think actually that Zwift's products are really good value for money. I am using the Zwift Hub 1 trainer, which is like the most basic trainer that exists, but it works. And right now Zwift is releasing the indoor bike, their own indoor bike, and I think that for riders that do not have any bike and are looking for a pure indoor setup, that is going to be probably the best value for money there is, because as we spoke about Zwift Play on the new Zwift indoor bike, Zwift Play is basically integrated into the handlebars, and the shifting will be even better with that bike. So it's going to be a very fun gadget for people who do not own a bike. Oh, congratulations, Joshua. How was your experience, if you already done a sea race? For me, it was quite a surprise to start racing in sea. I think the jump from D to C was probably the biggest jump. I think the jump from C to B isn't nowhere near as hard. So you got the Zwift one, wow! incredible. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there are still people, you know, you will be able to ride with comfortably, even in C. But it is when you are trying to keep up the pace with the front group, it's when the jump is really noticeable. I basically, when I was racing my first C race after the promotion, it was like one of the flat races in Watopia. I'm not sure what route it was on. But I tried to stay with the front group, and it was even better because the group I joined was the Monday 7 p.m. group, which is the prime time. It's basically the race that is being broadcasted by Nathan Guerra on Zwift Live community. So it's basically from each category, there are the best racers. And I tried to stay with them. I basically just died in the middle of the race. Like I just couldn't go anymore. And I finished it by like pedaling on autopilot. It was horrible. The jump from C to B wasn't as severe because I actually joined BCAT voluntarily before I was promoted, because I wanted to do the harder routes during Zwift games, and they were only available for the B category. And during the event, or maybe a little bit after, I'm not sure right now, I was promoted to B. But you know, I think it is hard to start in the higher group, but it's the best way to improve as well, so. Yeah, exactly, Joshua. You are not going to end last. And probably even if you joined a B race, you wouldn't end up last. Because there are even riders that are not sure what category they should be racing in. So they join basically whatever they want. And there are frequently riders in BCAT that end like 20 minutes after the main group ends. So no worries about that at all. Well, that's pretty impressive, Saints. If you started with serious cycling this year and you are already in A, kudos. That's impressive. I definitely appreciate that you have a high meaning of me, but I'm nowhere near A right now, still. But I think it is absolutely realistic for you to make B until the end of year. It took me about 5 to 6 months racing in C to reach B. So that sounds about right. Oh, this guy is climbing on the horrible bike from the what was it called? Not sure even more. Anyway. Thank you, Jasper. I'm glad you like it. I use, for my microphone, it's Maono PD400X. And I use the Extract Dialog plugin to remove the noise from my fan, because otherwise it would be really loud. And I also have the Elgato Wave XLR audio interface that improves the sound quality even more. Oh, you were delivering letters on bike. Wow, that sounds awesome. Well, I can imagine you had a good base then. How is it in winter when you are delivering letters and all that stuff? Did you have some special equipment, so you don't, so your feet are not freezing? Because I remember when I was cycling during winter, I had to get special winter shoes, because if I try to cycle in my regular ones, my feet were freezing and they were getting numb really, really quickly. Thank you, Joshua. Good night. I can imagine such job be quite difficult, because for all of us, basically cycling is a way to turn off, to how do you call it in English? Wind down after the hard day. But I can imagine if you just have to do it because it's your job, it's way harder, definitely. But you can say you are a professional cyclist. Isn't that great? Wow. There's something loud going on below me in my rocker plate. Yeah, so we are pretty close. I'm from Czechia, so that sounds perfectly reasonable. I actually missed this window of opportunity in my 20s. I was basically this stereotypical gamer that didn't work during his studies and just played World of Warcraft 10 hours a day. And after that, basically when I finished school, my first job was financial audit. So I went basically from zero to one of the most time-consuming jobs I could ever take. So by the time I finished working in Deloitte as a financial auditor. I was super overweight, and it was only when I started my new job I had time to start caring about myself. And I started running, and I grew to like it a lot because I lost some weight. It gave me confidence, and it was something I was quite good at, which was a feeling that I didn't much know before. So running was my outlet before cycling. But last year I finished my last marathon, and basically to improve further I would need to grow my mileage exponentially, and even then I didn't have too much of a fun training. The racing was fun, but the training was not, and so I changed the running shoes for the bike, and now I'm running only with my dog. I got my heart rate way higher than I wanted to. But the power seems reasonable, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Exactly. I think it is very easy when you are young to fall into the trap of working too much and building wealth, stuff like that. But when you are in your 20s, it is important to enjoy the life as well, because you will never have that amount of energy ever again. Uh-huh. That's actually pretty interesting. I can imagine studying when riding. I didn't like studying, so maybe if I was able to cycle during my studies, when I was studying for my exams and stuff like that, it would probably be more fun. Yeah, exactly. And I think you can do a lot of work during 9-to-5 job as well. I don't think it is very efficient to be working like 14 hours a day. I know that since I've done that. I will increase my size of my camera a little bit during the descent. Yeah, you can work obviously for 12-14 hours a day, But I don't believe, unless you are like super efficient, you are going to be able to do much more work than you would be able to during the normal 8-hour period. I think you can do a lot of work during 8 hours if you are really getting into the zone. And yeah. So basically, when I was applying for my current job, I was saying to the HR, I am diligent worker. I am able to work very efficiently. I am able to do a lot of work, but I'm not going to work more than 8 hours a day because I don't think it's necessary. Obviously, there are times where you need to do that, you know, obviously when there is a like closing or some ad hoc situation, then sure, there's no problem with working more. But I don't like when the 12-hour workday is becoming a norm. It shouldn't be like that, in my opinion, because it's unhealthy as well. When I was working in financial audit, I legitimately couldn't walk up a flight of stairs because not only because I was overweight, that was one factor, but I had really bad fitness. I couldn't breathe properly when I was going up the stairs, and that's not worth it. You might make a lot of money eventually. You are not going to from the start anyway, because it's a meat grinder. But no, you are not going to enjoy the money if you are sick and, you know. Exactly. That's why I am quite a big advocate for 4-day work week, because I am convinced the efficiency of the workers wouldn't go down. You know, I am under the impression that the people would still do their job well, but they would have more free time, bigger quality of life, and I think that could even improve their performance at work. But unfortunately, I don't see it being close or anything. Yeah, exactly. Probably even better. Because in 3 days, like if you had free time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, in 3 days you can really rest and clear your head from work and from the stress, and then you can really dial it down for the 4 days and repeat, and I think the productivity might be even better. Exactly. So this is my third lap on the grade to climb Mount Etna. I need to do 11 of them, exactly 11. And next week, to climb the Mount Everest, I will need to do 29. It's going to be a long journey, right? Yeah. Huh? My wife just came to tell me I forgot to update my lap counter. Yeah, I was thinking if I should do the Alpe de Zwift or the Great for the Everesting. And I think the Great might be better for me because first, it will be better psychologically, splitting it into more bite-sized chunks. And second, I might be even the first to do that. But even if I'm not and someone does it before me, I'll try to do my best, life. Yeah, my most immediate goal, obviously, is now to do the Everesting successfully. To get the jersey, because this one from the Tour de Zwift is my only good jersey, so I could use another one. And after that, I will refocus on my Zwift progression. I would like to be in my prime during autumn, when the Zwift season starts, basically. So I will definitely stream the Zwift Academy this year and the Tour of Watopia and all that good stuff. Obviously, if it is possible, I would like to compete there with the best. But there's still a way for me to go. Yeah, Ventop was my another option, but I actually rode up Ventop a few weeks ago, and the vertical meters per time invested were actually worse a little bit, not by a huge margin, but I think when you are climbing almost 9,000 meters, you need to be as efficient as possible. And the Great and the Alp are fairly similar in terms of time efficiency. Ventop is a little worse because there are those, if you can imagine it, a little downhill section and the flat section, and then there is the flat section like 2 times. So basically you are spending time to not progress in your journey. Here on the Great, there's also a little flat section, but it's about just 20 to 30 seconds, and it allows you to pick up the speed to start climbing the next section. So I didn't find that to be harming to the progression. I mean, I get what you're saying, but there are 29 laps that you can cross out like this, right? Every 20 minutes, one is gone. And the number is still decreasing. When you're doing like Alp or Ventop, you have to do it like 6 to 9 times. But each round takes forever. So basically you are sitting on your bike for almost an hour and a half and you are just one down. But I definitely respect that this is something each rider has a different point of view towards, and maybe I will regret it. But I think I will regret doing the challenge. No matter what climb I will be doing it at. I think I will start about at 7 a.m. local time, and I fully expect to do it until like 10 to 11 p.m. So it's going to be a super long day. I'm dreading it, but I'm also excited about it. Yeah, exactly. There is no right or wrong. I was for a brief amount of time considering doing it on Mount Fuji as well. Yeah. On the climb portal. But I think that would be even more horrible psychologically, because you wouldn't have the environment variety. So I just looking at the yellow, blue and red for 14 to 16 hours, that would be horrible. I had 82 kilos when I started Zwifting in January. Right now I'm down to 74. But I absolutely agree that the weight is a thing that really hinders your ability to climb well. And it is still possible I won't be able to do it. I'm just planning for the challenge like it's a done deal, but it is possible that I will look myself in the mirror after half and say that's not possible. I've never done anything like that. I think it will be the hardest challenge I will have ever done. Yeah, exactly, Trey. That's what I'm counting on. I think that psychologically, it is going to be very hard from the start, because 29 to go, when each lap takes like 22 minutes, that's going to be horrible. But when it is like 10 to go, 9 to go, 8 to go, I suspect that even though I will be tired like hell, I will be able to push myself way better than if it was like I still need to do 2 Alps, right? Because all of you that ever climbed Alp know how mentally taxing it is. This climb is like a kid's playground compared to Alpe d'Huez Zwift. Yeah, Rudis, but that wouldn't count towards the challenge, I believe. Because I don't want to do only the Le Col challenge. I want to do the official Hellas 500 Everesting. And for that, you need to gain the vertical meters on the same climb and on the same way. So basically, only the meters that you would have gained during the climb part would count towards the challenge. But I assuming that you are referring to the first portion of the Epic KOM reverse climb, when there is the swing where you can go down, up, and that's where I was farming my Tron bike. But I don't think that would count as an Everesting. And even then, I want to do it properly, because I think this challenge is all about pushing yourself somewhere where you didn't know you can go, and there is a reason why the gray striped jersey is so famous, because you need to go through hell to get it. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. And if I'm not able to, I will try in the future again. But obviously, I'm going to do my best to do it on the first try. Hello, Joao. Hopefully I didn't just butcher your name now. Yeah, it is like 1/5 of the Tron bike, the challenge. Yeah, it's a crazy challenge. But I think the benefit of doing it at home on an indoor trainer is when you just cannot go anymore, you can just always stop. But it is also tricky in a way that, it is also way easier to quit, right? Because you are just few meters from the couch, few meters from the TV. Also, no new Elden Ring expansion is going to release the day before, so I would be tempted to go play. So it's double-edged sword, but I think it is still better to do it at home for the safety reasons. Congratulations, Joyo. Or if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, please, I apologize. Hello, Daniel. Yeah, 15 minutes. It's my time as well. I did it in 15:19 when I was doing the FTP test here. And I think I could have done it a little faster if I was rested. But that was about my time as well. What was your FTP when you reached the top actually? My pacing plan for the Everesting is to keep... I will pace it probably by heart rate, because I can do a power pacing plan, but then there is the cardiac drift, and my heart rate would go progressively up. So I will probably try to keep my heart rate around 150, like I am right now. And I assume my power will be going down as I go, so... but I think keeping consistent heart rate should be the best pacing strategy. And yeah, the nutrition will be a huge part. I still need to figure out what I will need to buy. I'm tempted to go for a pizza mid the challenge, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea. But as you can see right now, I'm using a fruit juice as my drink of choice. I was using sports drinks for my racing before, and I've got a friend who is like not professional rider, but very close to it, and he told me to try fruit juice, and it's actually super nice. It's way easier on the stomach than the sports drink, and if I need to recover the salt levels, I have my salt pills. So this is my multi-vitamin fruit juice. And I've got blackcurrant, I believe. And orange is also very good to help your ride. .7 watts per kilo. How much is it for me? 3.7. It seems like it's more for you. My FTP was 250 and I'm 74 kilos. So that's like maybe 3.5, something like that. So it's reasonably similar, I think. Bananas, yeah, definitely I will get bananas. Bananas, gummy bears, dried pineapple is awesome because it's basically just pure sugar and it tastes incredible. So I will have that. What else? $56 kilos. Well, that's a nice climbing setup you have there. I have 74 kilos. I'm down from 82 when I started doing this channel. But it would be nice if I managed to lose one more before the challenge. but I don't want to restrict my eating too much before the next Saturday because I don't want to underfuel. So I will probably eat more than less in the days coming up to the challenge. Sugar water. What is sugar water, Rudis? It's like just legitimately water with sugar, or like Coke, or I think Coke would be even very good for the challenge. It's probably not a bad idea. That shit is incredibly powerful. When I was drinking Coke a lot when I was running, and it's like sugary water, yeah. Okay, that sounds interesting. I mean, fruit juice is just sugar and water, right? So that's probably that. So, third descent, I'm going to update my counter. Three out of 11 laps done. Yeah, I was the opposite actually. When I started Zwifting, there were not many riders in my category who would outsprint me by the end of the race because I had huge power output due to the weight. And I'm still pretty good at sprinting actually. My climbing is horrendous compared to my sprint. That's why I'm doing climbing challenge, right? But yeah, it's there are pros and cons to being light and being heavier as well. I'm trying to go for the middle ground approximately. I want to go with my weight down to like 68 kilos. I think that would give me a good climbing weight without losing that much power. Hello, Franny. How are you? Plate of paella and Sprite. I can imagine the Sprite, but eating paella during Everesting, that's an interesting choice. 10 hours. Wow, that's impressive. What climb did you use, Franny? Thank you, Doom Guy. So I need to check the fiber content on the fruit juice. I think I'm now having the 100% fruit juices, and I so far I didn't have any digestive problems or anything like that. Or what are the cons of the high fiber content? How would it influence me? I'm sorry if that's a dumb question, but I'm like really bad at nutrition. I always focus too much onto the training and too little on the nutrition. Oh no, Franny! I wanted to be the first one who does that on here. Okay, now I'm got it. No, but really, congratulations. That's awesome to do it in 10 hours. Yeah, it's 29 laps. I have the same plan actually, but it won't be in 10 hours in my case. I'm fairly sure of that. Ah, okay. Okay. It's interesting to know. Thank you. Franny, did you go down from the bike on the descent? Or did you stay on the bike for the whole duration? Because you are allowed to, according to the rules, so I'm interested if what you have done. 8 hours. Guys. That's not gonna happen. My average lap on this hill in my target pace is about 23 minutes on the way up. Then it's another 3 minutes down. So that's 20, let's say 25 minutes. And round it up to 30 with some rest breaks for one lap, right? So 2 laps an hour, 20 laps, 10 hours, 13 laps, 30 laps, 15 hours. So I can imagine it doing it in 14 hours or something like that. I'm hoping it won't be as warm next Saturday here as it is today, because when I'm keeping my power at 200, I would expect to have about 10 less BPM, and I think that's the effect of heat. And partially probably fatigue, because I've been training quite hard the last 3 weeks. I've been doing both Zwift rides and outdoor riding, a lot of outdoor riding. Not 14 hours, not for 14 hours, but I did right around Prague, Czech Republic, 3 times, I believe, or twice or 3 times, and I did it on gravel bike. It is like 150 kilometers, and I was doing it basically for the whole day as well. So I've got some experience with sitting on the bike for a long periods of time. But I do not doubt that my bum will be screaming. I think that's no-brainer. I'll need to rest a lot before the attempt because I had like 2 rest days during the last 3 weeks and I can feel the fatigue, but I had very little time to prepare for the attempt as they announced it like a few days before June started. So I will probably ride to work tomorrow and on Tuesday, but just commute, not anything harder. Then I will do a workout on Wednesday, but probably not a very long one. And I will do Thursday and Friday off, completely off bike and just rest. And that should put me into a pretty good position for the challenge. I don't want to go into the challenge too fresh because my experience from running says that if you go too heavy on the recovery before the event, you feel quite rusty on the race day. But I will probably want to do one more test stream before my Everesting. So I might even do a race on Wednesday and stream it. We'll see. I'm not sure right now. So far my time is really bad compared to the amount I've climbed, but I was for the first like 20 minutes I was really trying to configure my stream, and I was more in the menus than riding. So in the reality my time isn't that bad. I'm going to do a sort of a charity portion of my Everesting stream, and it will be that for each subscriber I get during the stream next week, I will give some money to charity. And I will try to encourage my viewers to join me in that endeavor. But that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully a lot of people will tune in. And not only because of this, but I will need all the mental help to carry me to the finish. I have not decided yet. I will use my time next week to do that. I usually tend to support either people with some serious illnesses, so ALS or cancer, probably cancer because I've lost quite a few family members to cancer. So either that, or I'm also supporting pet projects, so rescues, maybe dog rescues, or the assistance dogs training to help people who are blind to get their assistant dog, stuff like that. There is an awesome project here in Czech Republic that is called Pet Heroes, and it is like a animal rescue / shelter, and they are doing it super well. They really care, so I like them. Awesome. You will be most welcome. Yeah, it looks like the stream is working pretty well, actually. I was afraid it would be laggy or the sound would be bad, but actually not too long ago my wife came and gave me a thumbs up, which meant that all is working probably well. I have a little monitoring on my iPad to see if there is not the stream outage or something, but looks like everything is working pretty well. I had a lot of respect for streaming because I've never done anything like that. The videos are easy because you can cut the wrong parts away and take as much time as you want to tweak things. But with live stream, if anything goes wrong, there's not much you can do. I can see that. I can see that as a postman you meet a lot of problematic dogs and other pets as well. And I'm definitely not like a fanatical dog person. I am very well aware that there is quite a few problematic dogs and pet owners who really shouldn't be having dogs because they cannot give them the time and love they need. So I definitely understand if someone is afraid of dogs. And I myself have a dog. I have an Australian Shepherd, and I do not let him to go to people who don't want to, pet him or anything, because I think it's everyone's right to not be bothered by other people's pets. Obviously, if anyone wants to come pet him, I allow them because he's actually a sweetie. But I think that fear of dogs is not something we should laugh at. This seems like a pretty good lap. I'm climbing fairly fast compared to my effort level, which is not like severely high or anything. There's a lot of riders on the grade. When I was doing the FTP test for the video, there was almost no one on the climb because not that many people had access to the patch yet. It is way more lively now. What is your FTP and max heart rate? My FTP measured on the grade is 250 watts. But I was doing the test tired. So my actual FTP is a little higher. And what I'm doing is testing my FTP using multiple point testing. With software WKO5, and that testing gives me an estimate of 257, which I assume is very close to my true FTP. And my max heart rate is around 194, 195. I believe it is 194 because I hit that number twice during my races recently. And no matter how hard I was sprinting at the end, it didn't go above that. So I think it is 194. So, back to the conversation about Zwift Play. I believe it was you, Saints, who asked about that. You can see its benefit very well on the second part of this climb. You can take always the inner portion of the curve of the switchback, and that actually saves you some time. And you can see it if there is another riders next to you, you can see that if you take the inner path, you will start passing them. And you cannot do that without Swift Play. When do you expect to finish the task? I just finished the 4th. But I spent about 20 minutes at the start tweaking the stream. So I expect in 2 hours I should finish the task. Maximum 2 hours. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. So far the time flies. You guys are engaging me, and that makes it way easier for me to write this again and again. Oh, I need to update my lap counter. I will try to tweak it more until the Everesting attempt, so it looks better and stuff. Right now it is just a test run, really. You already ordered it. Okay. Well, let me know what you think about it. I think you will be actually pleased. It's actually a lot of fun to be using that. The most fun is actually when you are racing and there is a turn and the group is starting to leave you because the effort is high. And when you use the Swift Play to your advantage and actually take the inner path of the curve and you catch the group that is leaving you, that's the best feeling ever. It's so fun. Like it is a question whether usage of such equipment is actually fair, because it really gives you advantage when racing. That said, everyone can buy it. Well, almost everyone. I believe owners of Apple TV cannot use it. I'm not sure right now. Maybe they can. I'm not sure. But you might say fairly that it gives you unfair advantage. But at the end of the day, even in real life, you can buy better bike and, lighter group set and stuff like that. So in cycling, in a way, you can buy your way to victory. And the Swift Play doesn't give you like significant advantage that you would start like beating the field with it. But it can make like maybe half a kilometer on 50-kilometer course, something like that. Which is nice, at the end of 50-kilometer ride, 500 meters is a lot. Excuse me. Isn't 150 for 14 hours too high? Well, it's not going to be for 14 hours, because I expect the whole run go for 14 hours, but half of that will be descending. Well, not half of that, but, in terms of descent, there is going to be, in terms of distance, there will be half descending. And on the descents, I will recover. And also during the whole attempt, I will definitely schedule some breaks, So maybe I will need to do 29 laps. So maybe every 5 laps, I will do, let's say, 10-minute break, during which my heart rate will go down. So it won't be continuous 150 BPM. And always, if I feel that the effort is too high, I can go lower. I will definitely listen to my body during this attempt. But I feel I can hold 150 BPM for quite some time. Sure. Yeah, if you're racing 2 days a week, 2 days a week, yeah, 2 days a week on average, it's definitely worth it to have Zwift play. Even just for the convenience and fun factor, right? Because it's like a gaming joystick, and you can activate your power-ups with one of the buttons, so you don't have to, you know, fiddle with the touch screen with your sweaty fingers on your mobile phone or stuff like that. So also, if you are passing another rider, as I'm right now, you can give them ride on, like this, without taking your hands off your handlebars. And if they are nice, like Mr. Suzuki is right now, they can give you one back. Thank you, Franny. Yeah, I will be definitely doing that during my Everesting attempt. And I will probably, from time to time, even go down from my bike to have a little stretch or something. I absolutely agree. Intervals are not fun. Thank you for the ride on, Franny. Yeah, I started racing because I didn't like doing workouts, and I had a little performance anxiety before I started racing, because when I was a runner, I hated FTP tests, and I would often give up when it got too painful. And I thought, okay, I can start racing right now on Zwift, but when it gets too hard, I will give up again. So I created this channel, at first mainly to give myself accountability, to basically force myself to go through the pain, because if I didn't, the audience would see that. And I really taught myself that no matter how bad you are hurting during the race, it's not a big deal. The race ends and you feel fine. It's way better than to end the test or race prematurely and beat yourself up because you gave up. It's way worse than suffering for 5 or 10 minutes. I also like to give ride-ons during races when it gets really hard, because it allows me to focus on anything or something else than the pain. So it doesn't help by tremendous amount, but it helps a little. And again, Zwift play is good for that. So Can I join your Zwift? You are most welcome, Masaka. I'm on the Great right now and will be still for another maybe 1.5 to 2 hours. So or I don't know if you asked if you want to join me during the ride or if you want to like add me or to follow me. You are obviously welcome to do both. Also, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. It really helps the channel to grow and show it to people who might also be interested. I should keep my power around 200, but I have a feeling I can do more. So during my Everesting attempt, I will probably need to really restrict myself somehow. Especially since I will be fresh after my recovery. I'm not 100% decided yet, Masaka, but I probably will. And you are correct, it's 29 laps. And I did some testing during my training, and the grade is very similar to Alpe d'Huez in terms of vertical meters gained per time elapsed. Other climbs are worse in that regard. So it's either this or Alp, but probably this. And I think it will be even better if one of you will want to join me. It is way easier to do here because you can wait at the bottom and rejoin me quite often. $5,000 XP and 5,000 drops. Is that for the Everesting achievement, Franny? So I'm going to switch my multivitamin for black currant. Huh. Yeah, Puy-de-Dôme would be good for Everesting, but Honestly, I cannot imagine doing like 14 hours on a route that is just blue, red, and yellow. I would probably get mad by the end. Okay, that's nice. I mean, 5,000 drops isn't something that I will probably use very much, but the XP is nice. Sweater for free. Yeah. If I'm able to do the challenge, I will buy the... First, I will get the local jersey, which is nice, but I would definitely buy the full Everesting official kit from Hell's 500, because it would be a nice reminder that I was able to do it. And the kit is awesome. It's the blue with the gray stripe. So far I feel great, but I would be in trouble if I didn't. And it is now actually quite a bit faster than it used to be. When I started lifting last August, there was only 60 levels, not 100. And each of them was a incredible drag. I promise I'm not going to beat your time. I'm so sure about that. Three 4.5 watts per kilo. That's about my FTP. I'm just hoping that during the attempt I won't have any mechanical problem or anything like that. Like, hopefully I won't snap a chain, or my electricity won't go down. Stuff like that. That would really piss me off. I am willing to suffer on the bike as long as possible, but I don't want any technical failures. I'm even thinking if I should buy a spare chain. If I snapped it or anything, but I think I would just repair this one and just took the broken pieces out. I think I have a room for that, and I have the tools, so probably no need for that. And my chain is pretty new, so I bought it like a month ago, so it should be okay. And I'm not shifting very much. I mean, inside I'm not shifting at all, so it shouldn't break. I'm going to draft behind these gentlemen, or maybe I won't. Oh well. The other laps were above 4 per kilo. That was my FTP test. So that's not going to be my attempt. What category are you, Franny, anyway? Are you A? You have to be A, right? With this performance. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm afraid of. Because my Zwift will, get some error or something. I have my PC only for Zwifting, so I don't have, besides the streaming software, I don't have anything on there that could interfere with that. I will update it, update the computer, all the drivers before the ride. Hopefully everything will be good. Yeah, I thought it would be A. Hopefully I can join you sooner than later. Oh, you're A+. Okay. So I won't join you sooner than later. I understand that completely. I don't think I will ever want to do this challenge again if I am successful. If I fail, I will definitely try again, because I need to do this. But if I succeed, I'm not repeating Everesting. Oh, no. My iPad battery is dying. I need to plug it. When I'm on the top, I need to plug it in my power, or I will lose you guys. We can't have that. We cannot have that. it goes so much easier if I have someone to talk to. So much easier. It was incredibly fast. My iPad lost battery charge as well. How is that possible? Okay, so I will start descending and plug my iPad. Okay.
Jestli teda bude fungovat.
Meet you guys. This is my topic.
No. Ten je kuchař tedy.
Co mi doufáš? So let's update my counters. What do you mean, Franny, right now? I'm not sure what you're referring to. What arrow? Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. You did the turnaround, right? And I assume at the bottom as well. I mean, I was thinking of doing that as well, but I think this route with the laps at the bottom at the top are so convenient. Yeah, before turning. I know what you mean. I know what you mean right now. I was thinking of doing that, yeah. But I don't think that's that much extra mileage. I like the super tuck position. By the way, I believe right now, like a few days ago, someone from the pro peloton was banned from, I believe, Tour de Suisse for using the super tack. Yeah, no worries, Franny. I understand what you mean. Yeah. Lap number 6. We'll go actually on the right side because I can drive behind the riders, and the first turn is to the right as well. Super tack OP, yeah. And dangerous. By the way, on the challenge, I'm not going to be using any power-ups because I don't want to be disqualified from the challenge for any reason. And I can imagine that if I used like a featherweight or anything, the guys at the Hells 500 could say it's not like true Everesting, so to be on the safe side, I'm not going to be using any power-ups. That's why I'm not using them now either, because I want to have a realistic expectations what I can do. Yeah. I think that's a good decision, Franny. Did you actually register your attempt on Hells 500 on the official Everesting site? If you didn't, consider doing so, because you might be actually the first person to do Everesting on the Great. And if you register your attempt and you are the first, you will be in the Hall of Fame forever for this climb. Not a coffee stop. You didn't? You can still do that. If you send a Strava link to your activity on the Everesting.cc, they will register you as... Oh, okay. Fair enough. It was probably to be expected that with a new climb there will be people who would go for Everesting as quickly as possible here. Yeah. It's a good climb for Everesting. I actually had my eyes on this climb for my Everesting attempt ever since I learned they would be adding it to the game. But it was only when I rode it for the first time I decided I would likely do it here. I will send it to you. Give me a second. Here you go. And it is also the page when you can register your attempt. And if you do so, you will become eligible to buy the famous jersey, Everesting jersey. Oh no, Benny. That's heartbreaking. Did you break your collarbone while on the bike? It's like a literal nightmare for me, because I would probably go mad if I couldn't exercise. Definitely wish you speedy recovery, because that's horrible. The good news is broken collarbone heals quite quickly, if I'm correct. I believe so. But still, it sucks. Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that. Is there any chance you could ride indoors? Like, I know that you couldn't probably race or anything, but just pedal with your legs or anything, so you don't lose that much of a fitness? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. So it wasn't your fault, you had to react and Oh my god. That sucks, mate. Hi, Steven. How are you? I hope so. I've been doing a lot of training in the last 3 weeks, ever since they announced the Everesting challenge. I've been training a lot, so hopefully I will come to the challenge next week well prepared. Yeah, definitely. It could be worse. I mean, broken collarbone sucks, but at least you are whole. That's the most important thing. This will heal, but especially since it wasn't your fault, it's like, if you hugged the tree on a trail, I still would empathize a lot, but at least that would be caused by you. But if pedestrian crosses the street before you and you need to react and you end up injured due to that, that sucks. So you can ride with one arm and Z2. Well, better than nothing, I guess. I think until the next stream, I will have to figure out how to keep my iPad charged better, because it's at 10% right now, and I plugged it, but it's still at 10%. It says it's charging, but it's not like it's recovering or... Yeah, it will definitely be a mental test. So far, I would say the biggest mental test for me was racing marathons, which weren't that long, but it was still high intensity. But this is going to be something completely different. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay was struck by a vehicle on his bike. I saw the video too last night. Thankfully, he's fine. And at least he could use that experience to promote a good cause. He made a video to emphasize the importance of helmets, wearing helmets. And I think it's about the best thing he could do in such situation, because he has influence, 100%. And if he uses that influence to share his situation and make more riders wear helmets, it's going to be awesome. Gordon is awesome dude, man. I love him. I was actually eating in one of his restaurants, and the food was incredible as well. Which I guess isn't that surprising because he is who he is, but it is. Actually, my father-in-law rides without helmet, and neither me nor my wife can influence him to start wearing one. He's that old school dude who just won't wear one. It's ridiculous, but so far so good. I've already crossed the halfway point. Yeah, that was completely tragic, man. And actually, I don't feel that the UCI learned from that. I would think that after what happened to Gino, they would try to ensure more safety in the pro peloton races. And this year we can see the result. Both Van Aert injured, Jonas probably maybe he will lose Tour de France because of that, because of his injury. Remco Evenepoel injured, many others injured in crashes. It's ridiculous. I was looking forward to this year's Tour de France because it looked like it's going to be the showdown of a century, you know, basically. And I forgot Primož as well, because there would be obviously Tadej, Jonas, Primož, and Remco fighting for the GC, and 3 out of those 4 got injured. So hopefully we can still hope for a good fight, but if Tadej maintains his form from Giro d'Italia, I don't think there's going to be much of a fight, to be honest. If anyone was to threaten Tadej in his current form, it would be Jonas, and he was the one who was in the most serious accident. This year he is. The last 2 years weren't that great. At least on the tour, he was still good. He was still good in the classics. But in 2022, he had his whole team gutted by COVID, and last year he was injured training towards the tour. But this year, the performance at the Giro was insane. He was like 2 tiers above anyone else. I mean, Geraint Thomas and the others in GC were riding like crazy. But Tadej just went and never looked back. He is insane. I love Sepp as well, but I don't think he is a contender for Tours GC actually. I know he won the Vuelta last year, but I don't think he's at the GC level necessary to beat Tadej. But I would love, don't get me wrong, I would love Sepp to success because he's like the most loyal, nice guy in the peloton. Incredible domestic, wholesome person. But I don't think he has a shot, man. Hello, Yannick. How are you? So I've got another lap done, which is awesome. Still feel great, which is fantastic. Yeah, I hope there is no doping involved as well. Let me change my lap counter and I will expand on the thought. Yeah, my thoughts are doping. I think pretty much all of the guys in peloton are, and I'm trying to formulate my thoughts so it is not offensive or, unfair towards the riders, but I think all the guys in the peloton are really optimizing their fueling and nutrition strategies. That said, there are anti-doping tests regularly, and I believe none of them is behind the red line. I think they are really exceptional riders, and I actually think the environment in the pro peloton improved a lot in the last decade. And I would be absolutely gutted if people like Poggi or Jonas were found guilty of doping. But I don't think that at this point it's going to happen, because if it had to happen, I would say it would already happen. I think the teams are really efficient in optimizing the strategies for the fueling in a way that they are still well before the cutoff for any problems. This is an opinion that was challenged very much for me on the last year's tour, when I saw the Jonas's incredible performance in the time trial. Basically, Poggi did insane ride. He basically had like over a minute towards Wout van Aert, who was third. And Jonas almost caught him. It was the most incredible performance I have ever seen in my life. And it was very hard for me to stay fair towards him, but I firmly believe that all riders are innocent until proven guilty. And at this point, I trust that Jonas was clean and that he is just exceptional rider, like way above everyone else besides Poggi. I think he and Poggi in head-to-head match, if we had a fair match where no one is injured and they had the same starting field, I think they are pretty similar. But he's way ahead of everyone else. And I've seen many interviews with him, and I just think he's that kind of guy who would never do something like that. He's just a very nice person. And the moment where Jonas really, when I really grew to like him, was during last year's Vuelta, when basically he stood up behind Sepp and supported him to go for the GC win. That was the time when I thought, okay, Jonas wouldn't cheat. He's just too good of a person to do that. Yeah, that time trial was it was the closest thing we had to an alien appearance, right? And Poggi is no bad time trialist either. I don't know if you remember in 2020 when he stole the Tour de France from Primož Roglič during the time trial on stage 20 by a huge margin as well. But just Jonas wiped the floor with everyone last year. Saint, are you one of the guys around me right now? Yeah. We all remember that Primož's face when he was sprinting towards the finish line. And he did great job on that time trial as well. It wasn't bad time trial from him. He was in control. He was riding very efficiently. And still got smoked. Okay. Let's ride together. I will draft beneath you. Or behind you. Behind you. I wouldn't probably draft very well beneath you. Sometimes it's very hard to focus on speaking English when I'm doing an effort. That's going to be awesome, Franny. Thank you. I will really appreciate it. Yes. Yes, Stephen. It is in the rules of Everesting that you need to have your trainer set at 100%. So, definitely. I will even record myself at the start showing it is at 100%, so I have, proof. I'm fine with this pace. Go as you need. I think if it's not too fast for you, I'm comfortable with this pace. It's around 200 watts for me, which is perfect. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Stephen. I absolutely agree that it is important thing to mention, and I really appreciate that you mentioned it. I might need a little bit slower, if you don't mind. Not that this pace isn't comfortable for me, but I don't think it would be sustainable for a long time. Benny, do you mean for the Etna right now, the 11 laps? I don't have time planned, but hopefully not 6 hours. Etna is about 3.3 kilometers high, so I am well beyond the halfway point right now. For Everesting, as long as it takes. I assume the Everesting will take about 14 to 15 hours, including the breaks. I will do the full Everest next Saturday. I will start at 7 a.m. European time, which is like 1 a.m. American, and I will go probably towards 10 p.m.-ish European. This is like my final hard workout before that attempt to test the stream, make sure everything is going smoothly, because on the next Saturday I want to focus just on the challenge itself. I don't want to solve any technical issues with the stream, so on and so forth. Are you alright, Saint? Do you need to go slower or anything? There will be plenty of time during the day for you to tune in and maybe join me on the climb as well. You would be most welcome. But I need to start this early because it's going to take a long time and I don't want to completely mess my sleep schedule. So I think starting at 7 a.m. will ensure that I will finish at some reasonable hour. Awesome. Perfect. I have I believe I have a Discord account because I was using it for some, I don't know, for the source for Zwift and other things, but I'm not. Oh, excuse me. My TV just shut down. So basically, when I have my TV on for 3 hours, it shuts down automatically. I mean, Benny, if you rode with me with broken collarbone, you would be the GOAT. I know. I just probably once it happened to me during a long race that my TV shut off, and I completely forgot about that. But I'll need to change that settings before my Everesting attempt. Thankfully, it's just the TV itself that turns off. It doesn't turn off my stream, doesn't turn off the Swift. Man, the juice is so good when riding. Why am I wearing headphones? I'm not watching anything. I wore my headphones from the start because I thought nobody would be watching, and I would watch YouTube when climbing. But since I'm talking to you guys, I'm not watching anything, and it's way more pleasurable actually. I still feel fantastic, which is a good sign. Yeah, you are the best. I am still in disbelief how in, like, not even 6 months, maybe 6 months, not even 6 months, we were able to build such incredible community. Asi ne, děkuju. Yeah, but I mean, when I started this channel in January, I thought it would be merely a diary, writing diary for me, you know, to keep record of my rides, but that nobody would really want to watch. And now 5 months later, I'm closing to 500 subs. That's, you know, incredible to me, absolutely. Don't feel guilty. Tempus Fugit can be really, really hard as well. And I mean, riding is riding, right? No matter what you do. Thank you, Masaka. $7-11. And yet, not unlimited drinks and no hot dogs. That's not the 7-Eleven I'm used to. I cannot out up to my... Oh my god. I cannot update my lap counter. Oh, okay. I can. No? I cannot? Come on. Okay, I can't. Since my TV turned off, I cannot out-tab back into Windows to update my lap counter, so... But 7-Eleven is done. Masaka, I'm 74 kilos. So I'm not particularly light. And not particularly climber design, so to speak. Let's do a bit of stretching. Wow. So we are almost at quarter of Everesting. 2,212 is the quarter point. If I feel great at the quarter point, I think I will have a pretty good shot to do the challenge, actually. Because since I am so deep into training and I'm quite fatigued, and I have experience from running that before the marathon, if I was able to do 2 weeks before the marathon, quarter of the distance at my marathon pace, I will be able to do the marathon pace during the day when I am recovered, rested. So I assume this could be similar. So we will see. But so far, I'm having high hopes. That's a good question. It is very popular. Well, let me start from a different point. If you look online on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, there is actually quite a bit of hate towards cyclists. And I assume that's similar in many countries, right? But cycling is very popular. During COVID, it was pretty much impossible to buy a bike here because all were sold out. And if it's like a remotely nice day, and you go to pretty much any cycle path or road, there is going to be a lot of cyclists. It's not as popular as in Netherlands or Belgium or Germany or even the UK, but it's still pretty popular. I would love to be cycling in Switzerland, actually. So many nice climbs, beautiful nature. But I cannot complain. It's pretty nice here as well. I don't have music. If I'm listening to anything during riding, it's usually podcasts or audiobooks or YouTube. I'm not that much driven by music, and I definitely cannot have it on stream. Because I believe it could shut down my channel due to copyright. So I would need to have it, from my phone or something. So this is quarter of the Everesting point. I feel good. That's a good sign. Is that a fact? I need to give that a go. I'm a Barbie girl. No, I won't sing. Don't worry. I don't want to lose your presence here. Hello, Steak and Chains. How are you? Oh, did you? How did you end up? Did you do the FTP testing? I'm feeling quite well so far. Today I'm doing 11 laps here to climb the Mount Etna height as a final preparation for my Everesting. And next week it's going to be the game on. But so far, I think it's manageable. I will probably try to keep my heart rate a little lower next week. I'm revolving about around 160 right now. I will probably do sub 150 to be on the safe side. I don't feel that being around 160 is like crazy difficult to me, but I think that could change later. My goal for today is basically climb the Etna and still feel I could go for more if I wanted to. That's what I want to be, even mentally, for the next week. Thank you for joining me, Benny. Have a wonderful rest on the Sunday, and see you. Twenty-ish minutes. Well done. Do you think your FTP estimation is correct? I love cayenne pepper. It's a good suggestion. So let's take my large juice. I actually love buffalo chicken wings. whose prime ingredient is cayenne pepper. Sounds like a plan. And what is your max heart rate, Franny? $195. Okay. So we have about the same max heart rate. So I should probably ease up for my Everesting attempt. And did you have the heart rate 140 including the descent? When your heart rate got down? Or just for the climbs? On the climbs. Okay. That's useful information. Definitely. Steak and chains, it might not be overestimated. FTP doesn't necessarily mean a power that you can hold for an hour. I know it is said often, but FTP can be power for duration anywhere from 30 to 70 minutes, depending on your fitness level, your physiology, and other factors as well. The 1 hour benchmark is approximation for some general population, but it can be lower, shorter duration, which probably is, and longer duration for elite athletes. My FTP is a power that I can hold for about 40 minutes, measured by the physiological changes in my body. Exactly, Saints. Yeah. 40 to 75. Something like that. Exactly. Because FTP is not an hour power, it's basically the power which represents the breaking point between a state where you can go for a relatively long time and a state where you start fatiguing very quickly. Basically, if you imagine it as a curve, before FTP, your fatigue grows very slowly, and if you go over FTP, it starts rising very quickly. And that can happen at power representing duration between 40 to 75 minutes. And it is an hour and above, mainly for elite riders. So you would think like the pro peloton and the top national athletes. But for most people on Zwift, it's going to be less than an hour. Thank you, Steven. Have a good day. And I'll be looking forward to see you. You can, Saint? Oh, that's awesome. I cannot. My measured time to exhaustion is about 37 minutes, something like that. Yeah, it's very often said that FTP is an hour power. But it would be very hard for most riders to hold FTP for an hour. They're true FTP. Sounds like you be great time trialist. I'm the opposite. I could do a really good effort for a minute. And even when I'm really tired at the end of the race, I can often do an incredible sprint. So for the most part, I'm trying to, when racing, to hold on to the group for as long as possible and then outkick them in the sprint. And sometimes it works, and sometimes I burn myself. Yeah, this part of the climb is juicy. 15% gradient at the end of an FTP test is brutal. But I think that's a design, because I think they assumed a lot of riders would underpower the climb often, and they wanted to give the riders opportunity to really go to the well at the end, to really spend all their energy. And it will be also incredible when racing this climb. Imagine that you have a, like, I don't know, 40k race, and you have this at the end as a finish. if they do that for an elite level racing, like it was with games or anything, that's going to be awesome. Not for the riders, but for the viewers, man. I'll go off the bike for a little bit, just to stretch a little. But so far, it's going quite well. Last 3 laps in front of me. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely possible to go into this climb like super excited.